In this episode of How I Made It, I'm breaking down a real estate deal I did for a $42,100 profit using my quantum flipping method, which the whole concept of quantum flipping is based on the minimum amount of you needing to be involved in the process of doing real estate deals. In other words, minimum involvement with huge results. This deal, I did it entirely from my computer. I never met the seller or the buyer, and I never been to the property. So you can do these deals from anywhere in the world. And the best part of all is I didn't spend any money buying or fixing the property. So I got in and out of this deal fast with zero risk. And if you want to learn how you can do these types of deals for yourself or do them more consistently, go to learnquantumflipping.com, or I put a link below this video in the description. Just click it and learn my quantum flipping method from me directly. Now, I'm here to help you do these deals for yourself, which is why I made this video. So if you haven't already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and follow me on social media for more content on how to do deals easier and with bigger profits using the quantum flipping method. All right, let's get into today's deal and how I made $42,100 profit. This was an off-market lead that came from cold calling, and the seller was an absentee owner, and this was previously their primary residence. My cold caller spoke to the seller and found out that one, the property was in bad condition and would need a full renovation. Two, their reason for selling was the home got destroyed from an explosion of a nearby building, and because of the extensive damage, the seller's insurance company paid the seller for their home's damage, and the seller had already moved into another home and was not going to renovate this property. So they were already in the process of selling. Three, the time frame to sell was ASAP. Four, the asking price wasn't given. In fact, the seller told my cold caller that they already had a buyer for it. However, my cold caller kept the call going and let the seller know that our acquisitions closer might be able to provide an even better offer. Side note, guys, I know you might be thinking, if the seller said they already had a buyer for it, why would we continue? I've lost count at this point of how many times a seller has said that, and we end up getting the deal in the end after we follow our process. So don't let that stop you from keeping the call going. There's a reason why they're willing to keep talking to you and providing info. And the further you get into the call, the more you'll find out about how solid that other buyer is that the seller mentioned, especially if you're following my quantum flipping method. Sometimes sellers will just be in talks with other buyers but don't have a solid contract that they've accepted. And other times sellers will have a contract with another buyer, but if that buyer doesn't perform, or if they drop the ball, and if you've kept in touch with the seller, then you'll be in great position to pick up the ball so close to the basket and just score for yourself. So if you get leads like this one, don't give up right away when the seller tells you that they have another buyer for it already, or they already have an offer. All right, let's get back to it. When my acquisitions closer got on the phone with the seller, they reconfirmed all the details with the seller and built some good rapport. And since the seller already got their insurance claim money, they were ready to sell ASAP. My acquisitions closer found out that the seller was shopping around looking for the best offer. So it's a good thing we didn't quit on the cold call. Then we found out that the seller was only asking $30,000 to $35,000. And after running the numbers, my closer determined that we could pay more than that. However, since we got the asking price from the seller first, we didn't expose our hand by sharing our full offer. Instead, we went with the seller's asking price. And we knew that this was a super hot lead because the seller was only asking $30,000 to $35,000. However, when my closer went to contract the property, the seller went MIA on us. And after about a week, we finally got back in touch with them, and they said they were dealing with some personal matters and asked us to speak with the realtor about the offer. So we did. But the realtor also wasn't picking up the phone or returning my closer's calls or text messages. And after about a week of this, I told my closer I would step in and help get in contact with the realtor. Now, guys, I knew that this was a hot lead. And in my company, we have a do it now, whatever it takes mentality. And if there's one thing that I learned from doing investment banking deals in my other company, is that money doesn't wait. It keeps on moving, and the deals go to whoever is the hungriest, meaning whoever really wants it the most. I know that real estate agents are normal human beings, and not all of them do real estate full time. So if my closer had been trying to reach them during normal business hours for the past week, I decided to take an outside the box approach. So I called the realtor at 9 p.m. And not only did they pick up the phone, but we had a great conversation. And the very next day, they went to the property for me, they did a virtual tour, and we got the offer accepted. So we put the property under contract for $30,000, and we went right away to get the buyer. The buyer was an investment company who focuses on fixing and flipping. This was a new relationship. The buyer saw my deal online and contacted me. In fact, the buyer was in another country and didn't speak good English, so they connected me with their associate who I called right away. We discussed the details of the deal, and shortly thereafter, they gave me their highest and best offer of $72,100. Even though I had multiple other offers on this deal, I liked this one the best, so I accepted the offer. I emailed the contract, they signed it, and just like that, I quick flipped the contract to them for a $42,100 profit, and I did it all from my laptop. Easy. Again, I never met the seller, I never met the buyer, I never went to the property, and I specialize in teaching others just like you how to do this for themselves too. So if you rather work smarter instead of harder and start earning profits of $5, $10, $20,000, even $42,000 like I did here on this deal and on so many other deals, then just reach out to me or go to learnquantumflipping.com and I'll give you my exact blueprint I use to do these deals. The rest of this deal was smooth. The transaction coordination process went perfectly and we closed on time with no issues at all. The seller got their $30,000 plus whatever else they got paid from their insurance company. I got my $42,100 profit. The buyer got a great property to fix and flip, and they've already been contacting me for more deals just like this one. And the title company got paid as well. So everybody won here. Remember, if I can do it, then anybody can do it once they have the blueprint. It's not rocket science, guys. It's quantum flipping. So if you want to work smarter and not harder by learning the quantum flipping method to be able to do consistent real estate deals of up to 5 or 6 figures yourself, then click the link in the description or go to learnquantumflipping.com and I'll give you the exact blueprint I use to do these deals. I'll see you soon for the next episode of How I Made It, where I'm breaking down a deal I did for a $10,638 profit. I'll see you soon.